Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Njenga Njeru. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you know the protocol here that any other time you see a man on board, that man must be looking for a woman. In the same way, when you see a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. But because today we have a man, I will tell you, because I want to call him live on air. I'll tell you, and he will tell us the kind of woman he is looking for. And the guy today, this is a disclaimer. The guy is from Libya, Tripoli, Libya, the outskirts of Tripoli. Tripoli is the capital city of Libya. Libya is in Africa, but most of these guys are Arabs, and they are also looking for love. I have come to realize that interracial relationships have been on the rise. In the last few years, people don't care actually where you come from. People don't care who you are, as long as you can be able to connect with them, connect with their spirit, understand them, and have that interpersonal relationship, then you are good to go. Okay, so the guy today is a Libyan, 46-year-old, and let me call him so that we can have a talk. He will tell us the kind of woman he's looking for, why he is single. I already know his story, but he will tell us why he is single at 46. Let me put him on loudspeaker. I want him to tell us why he is... Hello? Hasn't picked. I want him to tell us why he is single at 46, why he has preferred to marry an African woman. This is not just for Kenyans, this is for any African dark-skinned lady who is willing to go with an Arab. Yuko hapa. It's not picking. By the way, what is the current time? It is 7:30 a.m. in the morning in Kenya. That's the time in Libya. We shouldn't have that time difference. Let me call him again. Naitwa Omar Latif. Omar Latif. No, he's not picking our call. Nimeongea na yeye a few minutes ago. I spoke to him a few minutes ago, and he's not picking, but let me keep this line open. I'll give you a little bit about himself as we continue. If he happens to call when we are live on air, then we will have that conversation. Because again, I'm not going to repeat this interview. Call us back. Now, Latif Omar is a 46-year-old Libyan man. Libya comes from Tripoli. Tripoli is the capital of Libya, and he is a camel farmer. Yeye anafuga camel inaitwa ngamia. Anafuga ngamia na samaki. And he said that for the longest time he received all his elementary education in a Presbyterian church in Africa, because when he was growing up, they were able to move to Egypt, and then after moving to Egypt, they came to South Africa. And during the height of the apartheid regime, unajua South Africa is one of the countries that received independence, gained independence just the other day in the 90s. So South Africa has always had that lagging of imekuwa imeshikilia mkia in terms of African states, African countries that gained independence. Remember, there were African countries that gained independence very early. Countries like Ghana, they were subscribing to an ideology called the African nationalism. During then, there were presidents, the fathers of the nation, fathers like Kwame Nkrumah. You have read about Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana in the late 1950s, 1957. They were able to spearhead African nationalism. So one of the grievances they had was to spearhead independence. They wanted African countries to gain independence, and that's how most African countries got independence. However, you can see countries like Kenya gained independence slightly a few years later after Ghana. That's 1963-64, independence and Madaraka. But countries like South Africa were oppressed by the apartheid regime. You've heard about the apartheid regime. So until the late 80s and now the early 90s, South Africa got independence. Na hapo ndio alisomea, and he was able to receive most of his elementary education there. So the parents moved from Libya to Egypt, then from Egypt to Africa, now South Africa. He received his elementary education in South Africa in a Presbyterian church. So he was able to interact with Africans one-on-one. And according to his story, I'm still trying to call him, because again, I would like him to share that story with us. Anasema alipata girlfriend, an African girlfriend. Let me call him again. Got an African girlfriend, and is he not picking our calls? Got an African girlfriend, alafu wakati tu things were about to escalate, they were to go back to Libya, and that is how he lost connection with the African babe. Let me try to call him. As a very interesting story here. That's how he lost connection with the African babe, and he has always desired to marry an African. And you know, in most dating sites, people are actually not looking for marriage. They are looking for love and fun and fantasy. But on our platform, this is one of the most marriage-oriented platforms we have. The leading, the most reputable, the #1 online channel where you get people live, and these people explain about themselves. We interrogate them, we interview them on your behalf. I think you should have picked this call, man. You come and extend the interview, or we do it sometime later when he calls back. Such an interesting story. I didn't want to miss this. Okay, so what happens is that let's assume he'll call back. What happens is that he had that connection. You see, all of you have first love. I know, and you will never forget about your first love. Maybe not, if it was a good relationship. So what happened with Latif is that he got a girlfriend, and when things were about to escalate, they traveled back to Libya, and they lost connections. So when they lost connection, he was not able to get an African woman, and he was always in love, until recently that he got married and they divorced. This is a divorce case, and I believe that people should be married to the people they love. By the way, if you're not interested in somebody, you shouldn't even give it the thought of marriage, because again, this is just going to be lost. This is going to be wasted emotions, wasted time, wasted investment, wasted love, and wasted many things, including an investment of a relationship with friends and family. So he felt that that is not where he belonged, and he has always wanted. He had married a fellow Libyan, but ni kama haikuwork. That was the waliachana 2016. Wakati waliachana 2016, the guy has a very... Now you will allow me to keep calling him, because I don't understand why. We had talked just a few minutes earlier. I don't understand why he's not picking. He will call us back. So I was saying, this is the kind of a relationship where you feel that I am in, I am not. That's why love is very delicate. Just fall in love with the people that matter, the people you feel connected, like there is that connection. Otherwise, if there is no connection and every other hypocrisy of a relationship fades away, that relationship is wasted, no matter how many years the marriage had been. So this guy, after 2 years of marriage, married in 2014, divorced in 2016, and the wife just left for another venture. So this guy, no kids, at 46, no kids, no strings attached, and he says that no formalities, just want an African woman, they can raise camels together. He loves video calls. So what you can do, after I share with you his contact, I'm not going to call him again. So what happens is that after I share with you the contacts, you can call him. The most important thing is to learn and to understand how people relate with one another, their religion, their stand in life, the values they value, the ethics, the ethos, and things like that, so that you can be able to tell whether this is the kind of person you are actually looking for. Otherwise, if you do not fall in love with the right person, you will end up being frustrated. Okay. And another thing I've realized that our culture and the culture of other people in other parts of the world is absolutely different. In our country, the most efficient manner to contact somebody is through either a phone call, or an SMS, or even a WhatsApp message. You can contact them. In other parts of the world, I've realized after interacting with these people that emails pop on their phones, and emails are the most reliable, most authentic to them, most reliable, efficient methods of communication. So the moment they share their emails, you can always want to contact them on email, because again, look, because of that difference, because of that SIM difference, like calling from Kenya to another country would be more expensive, and vice versa. Maybe WhatsApp calls give us free calls. However, if you can contact somebody on email, the conversation is quick and efficient. Okay, so I will share his email. If he likes you, he wants just to sample a few, and mukisikizana, you ask for the WhatsApp number. Okay, they usually give people a WhatsApp number, and I'm looking at a situation whereby even as we proceed, you also have an email. Even as we proceed, imagine right now there are people who receive even 5,000 calls. 5,000 calls. Can you imagine when this show will be like it's being watched by 100,000 people, 1 million people, 2 million people? The sky is the lower limit. So we can always project that things will get better. So are you telling me you bring a man, you bring a woman, very attractive people, and 100,000 people want to call them? Are you sure you can pick those calls? No. But for emails, maybe you can sample them at your own free time. Otherwise, you're even looking for one person, and when you get that one person, you can even ignore the rest. But I always ask our guests, if you have already gotten your match, kindly notify the sweethearts. Kindly notify the people who are looking for love that again, you are taken. No strings attached, no bad feelings, no bad mood. So kama umepata kwa mara ya mwisho sasa, wacha tujaribu Latif. Very interesting story. I don't know what that African babe gave him, but he absolutely fell in love with. Umeona hizo picha zake hapo kwa nini na ngamia zake? Umeona hizo picha zake hapo kwa thumbnail akiwa na ngamia zake. Let's see how this goes on. I wish these contestants are the very best, and please don't forget that if you get in touch with these people, please let us know so that we can follow up. I have his ID. I usually ask for their IDs. I also speak to next of kin to some of these people, and then I am able to validate that indeed these people are saying. We have done video calls. We have done video call with our manager, and looks like a genuine guy. So if you could be interested in Libya, see in Bali, it's still in Africa. Okay. Anyway, it's okay. So I will give you his contact on my Facebook stories at Njenga Njeru. The guy is Omar Latif, looking for a woman who is between 27 years and 45, because he is 46. So kids, ana shida na watoto. They don't care about kids. If you have kids, the better. If you don't, also the better. He doesn't even care. And I have come to realize that most people refusing kids or rejecting kids because maybe you don't want to expose them to economic hardships. But those people who are at least economically capable are not having a problem with raising other people's kids. At the end of the day, you're impacting on somebody's life, and you never can tell who that person will be, who that child will be. So if you have not followed me on Facebook, kindly go and follow at Njenga Njeru. That's where I'm going to post the the email of our guest. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, I realize that there are so many people who are watching us and they have not subscribed. Kindly confirm whether you are amongst them, so that if you're amongst the people who are watching us and you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, like this video if you're watching to this moment, and don't forget to tell a friend about this show. Otherwise, this is the biggest show in Eastern Central Africa, Eastern Central Sahara, in as much as love, relationships, marriage and matrimony are concerned. Until tomorrow, this is Njenga Njeru. God bless.